What's up, world? It's your boy Eric Estrich coming at you live and direct. This is the first episode of I Got a Story to Tell. You know what I mean? Just where I'm going to go through different stories, significant things that have happened in my life. And, the first episode, I wanted to talk about something that made a major impact in my life. We won't get into the year, but, my 8th grade year of junior high school, I attended a school in South Carolina called Tanglewood Middle School. And this school was one of the most ratchet schools in the state of South Carolina, in my opinion. I mean, I had the most fun. I went there from 6th grade to 8th grade, and it was when I first got into hip hop and first started noticing girls and noticing fashion and shoes, and man, it was just like a great time, pivotal time in my life, man, that still brings back good memories. Even though it was a lot of drama, fights, things of that nature, it was it was such a molding time in my life. You know what I mean? I have a lot of great memories from the time that I spent at Tanglewood. Um, my 8th grade year, the end of my 8th grade year, my mom decided to purchase a piece of land out in the country, and I was going to have to switch schools. Um, I was very disappointed because all of the friends that I had at Tanglewood were friends that I went to 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade with. You know, I had kind of grown into a teenager by that point with this same group of friends. And, I was very disappointed to have to move, to another school. So fast forward, we move over the summer, settle in, and it's time to go visit the school. We go visit the school, meet some of the teachers, see the campus. Seems like a nice place. You know what I'm saying? Nice looking school, nice gym. I was really into basketball at the time. So fast forward to first day of school. First day of school, I get on the school bus. I am the only black person on the school bus. I'm like, this is odd. Keep in mind, Tanglewood Middle School was 99% black, 99% black students. So I had never really had a lot of interaction with white students like that, So that was like the first shock to me. The school bus ride to school. I get to school, never forget it. I walk in the gymnasium and I can count the amount of people that look like me in that gymnasium on one hand, on one hand. And it almost put me into culture shock. I didn't know how to act. I didn't have anyone that I could sit beside or make me feel more comfortable. It just blew me away that this is the environment that I was put in. And as I sat in the bleachers and I waited for the principal and the teacher's announcements, everybody was staring at me. The entire gymnasium was staring at me. And I started to hear, uh, racially motivated, uh, slurs, of course, the N word, uh, and a bunch of other things that I don't want to repeat on this video, but I think you get the gist. Like it was coming from all around me, behind me, beside me, everywhere. And, I basically I put my head down and I put my hands over my face and just only showed my eyes like this. And when I did that, they all started to mock me. They all put their hands over their face and made jokes about me. And I just wanted to hide. I just wanted to crawl up under the bleachers. I was so distraught. Um, I had two guys, Clint and Mikey. I'll never forget. And they came from the top of the bleachers and sat down beside me. on each side and like, hey man, what's your name? What school did you come from? Interacting with me. And I needed that at that moment because I felt like I was naked. That's the only way that I can explain this feeling that I had, this uncomfortable feeling of being thrust into this new environment with no one I felt like I could relate to. So I really appreciate those two guys. Um, my journey through that year at that school was torture. And I know a lot of the people, we all older now. A lot of y'all may look at this video and not know what I was going through, during that ninth grade year, but it was torture. The ride to and from school, I was called the N-word to school. I was called the N-word home. Um, I was the only black person, male or female, in the entire ninth grade class. Um, so even being in the classrooms, there were constant jokes, there were constant comics made where people would forget that they had a black kid in their classroom and they would make a certain joke and then they look at me and they turn around and apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. I didn't know you were in here, and I just had to suck it up. You know, I can't compare my situation to what may have happened during the civil rights movement because I'm pretty sure it was 100 times worse, but that's uh, the closest experience that I could compare it with. It was just a feeling of isolation every day. It completely changed my personality. Um, I went from my eighth grade year to an outgoing kid, happy kid, till by the end of my ninth grade year, I was a recluse. I was introverted. I didn't speak to anyone. I kept to myself. And it was all because of that year at that school, just having no peers to relate to and constantly being on guard. Constantly being on guard. I feel like the entire school was against me, because the teachers would hear some of this behavior, some of these things that were said, and no one was reprimanded, you know, no one was punished for anything they said to me, about my race, nothing. So, I wanted to share that experience because it had a profound effect on my life. And, I don't even think my mom or anyone knows how much that one year changed the person that I was. Because of having to survive in that environment, because I cried to my mom about I can't go back to that school. Like I can't go back. That was after the first day. I said I can't go back to that school, and it was completely out of her hands at that point. It wasn't feasible for me to attend the school where my classmates at Tanglewood attended. So I had to suck it up. It made me introverted. It made me quiet, but it also made me strong and let me know that whatever environment you put me in, I can survive. I can survive that environment. So I just wanted to share that story. This is the first episode of I Got a Story to Tell. And, my first story is my time at Dacresville Junior High School, which affected my life a lot. To the people at Dacresville who may be watching this, the few friends that I did have there, I appreciate y'all. The ones who did support me and sit with me at the lunch table, regardless of what their friends thought. I appreciate you. And I do tell that story to let you know that even amongst, being the minority in that school, there was still people who came to support me, people who understood my struggle, and people who did not condone the behavior of their classmates. It was not everybody, but, I just wanted to share that story with you guys.